The secret. Almost all men ignore but women love. Stoicism. Philosophy. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. What if I told you there's a secret hiding in plain sight that most men completely overlook? It's not about wealth, status, or appearance. Those are external. The real power comes from something deeper, something within your control. Most men wander through life blind to this truth, but the modern Stoic sees through the illusion. He knows that true attraction, respect, and admiration aren't won through fleeting tactics. They come from mastering yourself. In this video, we're diving into the powerful secrets that women notice, but most men never do. If you're ready to understand what it means to truly win Stoic, this is your moment. Stay tuned as we uncover the hidden force that transforms your presence and how mastering your mind can give you the edge you've been missing. Ready to unlock your potential? Let's dive in. Number 1. The unshakable presence. What's the secret to becoming a man who effortlessly commands respect, admiration, and even attraction without trying? It's not about flashy gestures or chasing validation. It's about embracing a mindset that women secretly love and men often ignore. The key? Stoicism. Let's dive into how mastering Stoic life lessons can transform you into a man who wins the game of life, all while becoming more desirable in the eyes of others. The secret to becoming a man that women are naturally drawn to doesn't lie in flashy appearances or desperate attempts to seek attention. It's rooted in the profound strength of having complete control over yourself and being unshakable in the face of life's challenges. A man who is grounded in his own sense of purpose and self-worth. A man who needs nothing from anyone because he has everything he needs within, will always stand apart. This is the essence of Stoicism, and it's exactly what women admire. As Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. A man who is free is not enslaved by his desires, nor by the approval or admiration of others. He doesn't chase, he attracts, drawing people in with his quiet, unwavering presence." This is a man who has learned to let go of what he cannot control and focuses only on what he can influence. Women in particular are instinctively drawn to this type of man, the one who doesn't seek validation, who isn't swayed by the opinions of others, and who maintains his composure no matter the external chaos. He is steady like a rock in a storm, unaffected by the tides of external validation or the fleeting nature of approval. In the modern world, where many men are caught up in the constant race for attention and approval, a man who is grounded in Stoic philosophy stands out. He doesn't let the trivialities of life disrupt his peace of mind, and that quiet confidence is magnetic. To win Stoic means to embrace that inner freedom and resist the urge to seek validation or validation from external sources, a practice that brings peace of mind and an aura of attraction. When you focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, you stop chasing external desires and instead cultivate an internal strength that others can't help but notice. This is not about detachment in the sense of avoiding relationships, but about creating an unshakable sense of self. It is this sense of internal strength that others feel when they are around you. No matter the situation, the Stoic man maintains his calm, his poise, and his sense of self-worth, and that is something women find irresistible. So the next time you find yourself frustrated, desperate, or craving validation from others, remember that true power comes from within. Cultivate the Stoic life lessons, detachment from what you cannot control, and freedom from the need to prove yourself, and watch how your life and relationships change for the better. By living a life guided by Stoicism, you not only win Stoic in the game of personal growth, but you also become a man who effortlessly attracts others, not by seeking their approval, but by simply being the best version of yourself. Number 2, the power of composure. Have you ever noticed how some men can walk into a room and immediately change the entire energy without saying a word? They don't have to yell, force their presence, or do anything flashy. They just are, and everyone feels it. That's the power of composure, the ability to remain calm, controlled, and unfazed in the face of chaos. Now, think about the last time you lost your cool or reacted impulsively to a situation. How did it affect your interactions? Did it make things better or worse? This is where a Stoic mentality comes in. By learning to control your thoughts and emotions, you gain control over how the world responds to you. Seneca once wisely said, "A man is as miserable as he thinks he is." And it's true. If you let your thoughts run wild, if you react to every little provocation, you'll always be at the mercy of your emotions. But when you train your mind to stay calm, grounded, and steady, you stop letting the world dictate your mood, and instead, you dictate the energy around you. This isn't about suppressing your emotions, it's about not letting them control you. You see, the Stoic man doesn't react impulsively to life stresses. Whether it's someone cutting him off in traffic, a disagreement at work, or an unexpected challenge in his personal life, he remains composed. The energy of the room, the situation, and even the people around him will shift because he is unaffected by the noise. This is not a passive state, this is active control. Have you ever been around someone who is completely calm, no matter what happens? How does that make you feel? It's magnetic, isn't it? People are naturally drawn to that presence because they know they can rely on that person to stay grounded. They don't have to worry about unpredictable outbursts or emotional chaos. By adopting the Stoic mindset, you start to win not just in your personal life, but in how you present yourself to others. Women, for instance, are drawn to men who exude calm confidence. They appreciate men who don't need to react to every situation, but can instead process their emotions internally, responding thoughtfully rather than rashly. This is where Stoic happiness comes into play. True happiness, according to Stoicism, doesn't come from external validation or fleeting moments of pleasure. It comes from mastering your inner world, from finding peace in knowing that you have control over how you think and feel. When you can control your emotions and your reactions, you experience a kind of happiness that's unshakable, not dependent on anything or anyone outside yourself. So, how can you start to build this Stoic mentality? It begins with awareness. Next time you feel anger rising or frustration bubbling up, pause and ask yourself, what's in my control here? Practice taking a deep breath, observe your thoughts without judgment, and respond from a place of calm. As you continue to practice this, you'll begin to notice the shift not just in how you feel, but in how others respond to you. That quiet, unshakable presence you develop will become a magnetic force, and you'll start to realize that when you control your thoughts and emotions, you can control the world around you. Comment "Keep calm, overcome all challenges" to let me know you followed this far. And don't forget to subscribe to receive more interesting videos like this. Number 3. The strength of indifference. The strength of indifference. It's one of the most overlooked yet powerful qualities that high-value men possess. Think about this for a second. The moment you stop chasing, stop seeking validation, you naturally become the one who is sought after. It's a paradox that most men miss because they are so focused on obtaining approval or affection from others, especially from women. They grasp at every little sign, every word, every gesture, hoping for reassurance or reciprocation. But the true Stoic, the man who understands Stoic life lessons, isn't attached to any outcome. He doesn't chase. Instead, he moves through life with an unwavering sense of inner calm and confidence. It's not about being indifferent to people, but rather being indifferent to the need for external validation. Women find this strength incredibly attractive, not because the Stoic is careless or emotionally distant, but because he is complete within himself. As Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This means that a man who is able to stay centered and composed, regardless of the situation, will naturally command respect. Let me share a modern example. Think about the high-value men you know, the ones who are constantly in demand, who seem to have it all together. They don't chase anyone. Instead, they attract people by being exactly who they are. They are in control of their emotions and their actions, and they don't depend on external factors to feel good about themselves. How many times have you seen someone struggle to get attention because they need it? And how often do you notice that those who are calm, patient, and content seem to have the most magnetic energy around them? That's not a coincidence. It's the result of mastering the art of indifference, the ability to remain unaffected by what others think or say. Now, ask yourself, are you constantly seeking approval, or are you already complete within yourself? The more you can detach from needing validation from others, the more powerful and attractive you will become. This isn't about being cold or distant. It's about owning your inner strength and not letting the world dictate your worth. When you embrace this Stoic mindset, you'll begin to notice the shift in how people, especially women, respond to you. So, next time you're in a situation where you feel the urge to chase or seek validation, remember this. True power lies in your ability to stay calm, composed, and unattached to the outcome. Number 4, the art of mystery. What's the secret to becoming a man who naturally draws attention without trying too hard? It's not about saying all the right things or revealing every detail about yourself. In fact, it's quite the opposite. The key lies in the art of mystery, a powerful yet often overlooked Stoic life lesson that most men ignore, but women find irresistible. Let's dive into how embracing mystery and restraint can transform your relationships and personal presence. The most intriguing men are not the ones who share everything about themselves up front. In fact, the moment a man reveals every detail of his life, his thoughts and his emotions without reservation, he loses the very essence of what makes him interesting. Women are drawn to depth, to something they can't easily figure out or predict. This is where the power of mystery comes in, something that many men overlook, but women secretly find captivating. Think about it. When you meet someone who is intriguing, whose every move and thought isn't immediately laid bare for you, don't you find yourself wanting to know more? The true Stoic understands this principle all too well. He doesn't pour out his soul in an instant. Instead, he leaves a little to the imagination, creating space for curiosity to grow. As the great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." By controlling what we reveal about ourselves and being selective in what we share, we maintain power over how others perceive us. A Stoic man speaks when necessary and listens with intent. He doesn't fill every silence with words or every interaction with personal details. Instead, he allows the conversation to unfold naturally, revealing his thoughts and emotions in layers, allowing time for curiosity to build. This slow unveiling is a powerful tool in creating attraction. Women don't want to feel like they know everything about a man right away. They want to discover who he really is over time. This sense of mystery, created by how he chooses to reveal himself, is what keeps them interested. A man who masters this art knows that true connection comes not from oversharing, but from allowing others to experience his depth, piece by piece. By learning to hold back and reveal only parts of yourself at the right moments, you create an allure that is impossible to ignore. In modern life, where everything is shared so openly through social media and constant connectivity, the ability to hold back and maintain some level of mystery has become rare, and therefore highly attractive. When you learn to balance openness with restraint, you naturally attract people who want to know more, who are drawn to your complexity and depth. This Stoic mindset doesn't just apply to romantic attraction, but can also enhance your professional and social relationships, making you appear more composed, intriguing, and in control. In a world where so many overshare and seek validation through constant exposure, embracing the Stoic life lesson of mystery allows you to win stoic in life by controlling what you reveal and when. So next time you interact with someone, think about how much you're giving away and ask yourself, am I maintaining a sense of mystery that makes me interesting, or am I revealing too much too soon? Mastering this balance will not only keep others intrigued, but it will also empower you to build deeper, more meaningful connections over time. Number 5. The pursuit of purpose over approval. There is a powerful secret most men overlook, yet it's one that women instinctively find irresistible. It's not about seeking constant validation or chasing external recognition. It's about pursuing your purpose with relentless focus. A man who is truly engaged in his mission, deeply immersed in his goals, has little time to worry about the opinions or approval of others. And here's the paradox. This very focus on purpose, this commitment to a mission greater than himself, is what makes him magnetic. Women are drawn to the man who is driven by ambition, the man who is constantly evolving and growing toward a goal, rather than the one distracted by seeking approval or validation. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, a man's worth is no greater than his ambitions. In other words, the value you place on yourself is directly tied to the level of ambition and purpose you hold. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, regardless of external opinions, you automatically elevate your value, not only in your own eyes, but in the eyes of others. Have you ever noticed how some men, often the most accomplished or high-value men, seem to effortlessly attract respect and admiration? It's because they aren't trying to impress anyone. They're so engrossed in their pursuits that validation becomes irrelevant. They understand that their worth isn't dependent on someone else's approval, but on the clarity and conviction of their purpose. And this is what women truly respect. A man who doesn't need anyone to tell him his worth because he already knows it. It's this Stoic mindset of focusing on internal fulfillment rather than external validation that creates a sense of unshakable confidence. Take a look at any successful individual, particularly high-value men. They don't seek to be liked or admired. They are too busy creating, building, and living their purpose. Whether it's an entrepreneur, an artist, or someone pursuing their passion relentlessly, these individuals have an energy about them that commands respect. Not because they try to force it, but because they're fully invested in what they're doing. Their actions align with their words, and their purpose fuels them, making them inherently attractive. Women are drawn to that kind of energy. An energy rooted in self-confidence and a clear vision. It's a type of man who isn't swayed by opinions or shallow distractions, but stays focused on what matters most to him, and this is what ultimately makes him truly attractive. But here's the challenge. How often do you find yourself distracted by the need for approval or external validation? Do you catch yourself making decisions based on what others think? This is the trap that many men fall into, and it's a trap that keeps them stuck in mediocrity. The moment you shift your focus from seeking approval to following your own purpose, the world changes. You become less concerned with whether or not people like you, and more concerned with doing what you're passionate about. And when you live with that kind of focus and passion, the world naturally bends to your favor. Now, let's ask ourselves, how many of us can say we're truly prioritizing our purpose over the approval of others? It's easy to get caught up in the need for external recognition, whether it's at work, in relationships, or in our social circles. But think about the times when you felt truly alive, when you were fully immersed in something that mattered to you. That is when you were your most attractive, your most powerful, and your most confident. That is the magic of pursuing purpose over approval. So, what's the lesson here? The more you focus on your purpose, the less you'll care about validation. The more you stop seeking approval, the more you'll naturally attract respect, admiration, and yes, even love. It's not about playing games or pretending to be indifferent. It's about finding something bigger than yourself to pour your energy into and letting everything else fall into place. When you stop trying to prove your worth, you will start to win Stoic, a life of clarity, purpose, and inner strength. And remember, as Marcus Aurelius teaches us, your worth is not defined by what others think, but by the magnitude of your ambitions and the pursuit of your highest purpose. So, what will your purpose be? Number 6. The confidence in solitude. Have you ever noticed how some men seem to command respect, not by boasting or constantly seeking attention, but by simply being comfortable with themselves, even in solitude? There's a quiet strength in a man who can stand alone, a power that's far more attractive than most realize. The Stoic mentality teaches us that true confidence doesn't come from external validation or constant company. It's cultivated in moments of reflection, in those quiet, solitary moments when no one is around to influence your thoughts or actions. The great Stoic philosopher Seneca put it this way: "A man is not disturbed by things, but by the view he takes of them." What does this mean for you? It means that how you react to your own company, how you embrace silence and solitude, speaks volumes about your inner strength. It's in these moments of solitude that you find your true self, where self-improvement begins and where you cultivate the Stoic happiness that comes from within. Think about it. How often do you find yourself surrounded by others, constantly needing to be distracted or validated? Maybe it's a social media post, a group chat, or even just being in the company of others because being alone feels uncomfortable. But what if I told you that real power and confidence are born in those moments of solitude? The weak, the insecure, and those who seek constant validation are afraid to face themselves alone. They fill their lives with noise, external distractions, and other people to avoid confronting their own thoughts. The strong, however, embrace solitude as an opportunity to grow, to think deeply, and to refine their character. They understand that they are enough, and they do not need to depend on others to define their worth. When you learn to be comfortable with yourself, when you can sit in silence and be okay with who you are without needing anyone else to validate your existence, that's when you truly stand apart. Women, in particular, admire men who are secure in their own skin, who don't need constant companionship or the approval of others to feel whole. A man who is content alone radiates a sense of inner strength that is magnetic. His confidence doesn't come from being surrounded by people or needing constant attention. It comes from the peace he has found in his own company. And let me ask you this, when you meet someone who's completely at ease with themselves, doesn't that draw you in? Isn't there something deeply attractive about someone who doesn't seek validation, who is simply content in their own presence? In today's world, where distractions are everywhere and the pressure to conform is high, the ability to embrace solitude and stand alone is more valuable than ever. So, how can you begin to cultivate this Stoic mentality? Start small. Spend time alone with your thoughts. Reflect on your life, your goals, and your values without the influence of others. And in those moments, ask yourself, can I be okay with being alone? Can I find strength in solitude? When you do, you'll notice a shift in how you carry yourself, how you interact with others, and how you approach life. You'll find that true confidence comes not from seeking others' approval, but from knowing that you are enough on your own. This is the foundation of the Stoic life, cultivating strength in silence. And it's this quiet confidence that will make you stand out, win Stoic, and become someone people genuinely admire. You've just taken another significant step on your journey to mastering yourself. Leave a comment below with the phrase, "Solitude fuels strength," to show us you're embracing the power of confidence in being alone. It's time to reflect and grow. Your transformation is happening right now. Keep pushing forward because you're on the right path. Number 7. The ability to walk away. In today's world, where many men are driven by fear of rejection, the ability to walk away without hesitation has become a rare and powerful trait. It's not just about physically leaving a situation. It's about understanding your own worth, standing by your values, and knowing when enough is enough. The Stoic man doesn't tolerate disrespect, dishonesty, or anything that doesn't align with his principles. While most men stay stuck in unhealthy situations out of fear of losing something, the Stoic understands that walking away is not weakness, it's strength. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable, as Seneca wisely said. This isn't about being stubborn or prideful. It's about knowing your boundaries, recognizing your own value, and enforcing the change you want to see in your life. Think about the last time you felt disrespected, or when you found yourself in a situation that didn't align with your values. Did you stay, hoping things would change, or did you walk away? Most men, out of fear of scarcity, tolerate bad situations and accept less than they deserve. They fear that walking away will lead to loss, or that they won't find anything better. But the reality is, when you settle for less, you are robbing yourself of the chance to grow and align your life with your true purpose. The Stoic man understands that his time and energy are too valuable to waste. He doesn't wait for circumstances to change for him. He creates the change by walking away from what no longer serves him. It's not always easy to walk away, especially in relationships or work situations where there's emotional investment or pressure. But here's where the Stoic life lesson comes in. True strength is shown in the ability to detach without fear. A high-value man doesn't let his emotions control him or dictate his actions. Instead, he stays grounded, emotionally independent, and focused on his own purpose. By walking away from disrespect, he forces others to recognize his value, not out of arrogance, but from a place of unshakable self-respect. Think about it. When you set boundaries and refuse to settle, what happens? People start to respect you more. The universe starts to align with your values. Doors that were previously closed begin to open, not because you waited for them to, but because you refuse to compromise on what you deserve. The Stoic understands that the path to Stoic happiness lies in the ability to enforce boundaries, to walk away when necessary, and to never fear letting go of things or people who do not add value to his life. So how can you apply this to your life? Next time you face a situation that doesn't align with your values, ask yourself, am I willing to walk away? The strength to remove yourself from toxic situations isn't about giving up. It's about taking control of your own narrative. You become the author of your life, choosing only the circumstances that align with your true purpose. This is how you win Stoic, by walking away from what no longer serves you and moving toward what will help you grow. It's one of the most empowering decisions you can make, and it will make all the difference in how you live your life. Why do women gravitate towards certain men while ignoring others? Because most men are predictable, reactive, desperate to please, but a man who is in control of himself becomes a force of nature. He doesn't persuade, he doesn't chase, he doesn't conform, he simply is. And in that stillness, in that self-control, he finds not only attraction, but also freedom. Stay tuned for the next part and until the end of the video, where there are many surprises waiting for you. Say these 6 compliments and attract any woman you want. Welcome, everyone. Have you ever complimented a woman and felt like it didn't really hit home? Maybe she smiled politely and said thank you, but the moment passed without any real impact. Stick with me until the end, because by the time we're done, you'll know exactly how to use compliments to spark attraction in a way that most men never will. Let's get started. Number 1. I love the way you think. In the world of attraction, many men default to complimenting a woman's appearance, her beauty, her smile, the way she carries herself. These compliments are, of course, not untrue, but they're predictable. They don't highlight what truly makes a woman unique, her mind. What sets her apart is how she thinks, how she processes the world around her, and how her perspectives shape the way she interacts with the world. When a man notices the way a woman thinks, when he appreciates her intellect and the way she perceives things, something profound happens. She feels seen, not just for her looks or charm, but for her essence. She feels valued for her ideas, her insights, and her perspective. And this appreciation can create a bond that is far more powerful and lasting than any superficial compliment. In American culture, it's not uncommon for women to receive compliments on their appearance, especially in a society that often emphasizes beauty standards. However, how many women can recall the last time someone genuinely complimented the way they think or the way they see the world? This is the core difference between a compliment that feels real and one that falls flat. A woman knows she is attractive, or is at least accustomed to hearing men comment on her looks, but hearing someone admire the way she views the world, how she thinks, reasons, and interprets her experiences, is a rarity that can leave a lasting impact. Let's take a real-world example. Consider the story of Jennifer, a successful professional in a marketing firm in New York. She's constantly praised for her stunning looks and impeccable style, but one day during a brainstorming session, her colleague David said something different. After she shared a creative idea, he looked at her and said, "I never thought of it that way before. I love how your mind works." Jennifer, who was used to compliments on her appearance, was taken aback. It wasn't that she didn't appreciate being admired for her looks, but in that moment David made her feel valued for what truly made her unique, her intellect. That simple statement created a shift in their dynamic. From that moment on, she felt a deeper connection to him. It wasn't just that he thought she was beautiful, it was that he respected her mind, something that few people ever took the time to appreciate. A compliment that focuses on her intellect doesn't just make her feel good, it changes the way she perceives you. Instead of the predictable, "You're beautiful," say something like, "I never saw it that way before. I love how your mind works." Instead of offering generic flattery, focus on her thinking. When she shares a unique perspective, don't simply nod, acknowledge it. Tell her, "I admire it. You see the world differently, and I find that fascinating." When you recognize her thoughts and perspective as something valuable, you create a deeper connection with her, one that transcends the surface. Attraction isn't solely about physical appearance. A woman wants to feel that a man is drawn to her essence, to who she truly is, not just the image she projects. Complimenting her intelligence, or the way she analyzes things, may sometimes seem like a daunting task, but it's not about using grandiose words or forced admiration. It's about genuinely appreciating her thought process, her curiosity, and her individual way of understanding the world. It tells her that you're paying attention, that you are truly interested in what makes her who she is, not just how she looks. Men who understand this dynamic set themselves apart from the crowd. They aren't just offering shallow compliments. They're making a lasting impression by valuing what is unique and essential about a woman. This kind of compliment goes deeper than surface-level attraction. When a woman feels that she is truly seen in all her complexity, she can't help but feel drawn to the man who has taken the time to notice her in a way no one else has. These men leave an impact that lingers, not because they praised her looks, but because they acknowledged and valued her mind. Number 2, I feel calm around you. Most men believe that attraction is built on excitement, passion, and unpredictability. They assume that keeping a woman on edge, making her chase, or triggering strong emotional reactions is the secret to keeping her interested. While these elements can certainly create initial sparks, lasting attraction is about something far deeper: emotional connection. One of the most underrated yet powerful ways to create this connection is by making a woman feel that her presence brings you peace. Telling a woman that she makes you feel calm isn't just another compliment, it's an invitation for her to see herself in a new light. Many women go through life being admired for their beauty, charm, or wit, but few are ever told that their presence alone can soothe and center someone. When you say this, you highlight a quality she may not even realize she possesses, and because it is so rare, it becomes deeply meaningful. She begins to associate you with someone who perceives her differently, someone who appreciates her in a way that others do not. This approach builds a connection rooted in a sense of calm, as opposed to the tension and unpredictability that many men mistakenly believe are necessary to keep her interested. The philosophy of Stoicism today emphasizes the importance of inner calm and clarity, and by expressing how her presence brings you peace, you are not only appealing to her, but embodying a core tenet of Stoicism: control over emotions and finding tranquility in the present. This statement subtly shifts the dynamic of the interaction. Instead of chasing her, seeking her validation, or trying to impress her, you focus on how her presence affects you. This is a subtle yet profound change in perspective. Instead of wondering whether she is attracted to you, she starts to wonder how she makes you feel and how you see her. This curiosity plants a seed in her mind, making her crave more of your presence, and with it, the calmness you bring into her life. But words alone are not enough. Delivery is everything. How you say something can change its impact completely. If you say it casually, without feeling, it will come across as empty. On the other hand, if you say it with too much intensity, it will seem forced and insincere. The key lies in expressing your words with presence, a quiet certainty that makes her believe in your sincerity. Instead of simply stating, "You make me feel calm," try something that resonates on a deeper level. "You bring a different kind of energy to the moment," or "Being around you just takes the edge off." You could also say, "You make things feel simple and clear. I respect that." These aren't just words. They are experiences you share with her. When delivered at the right moment, they create a lasting impression that goes beyond superficial compliments. Attraction isn't just about physical chemistry or witty banter. It's about the emotions a woman associates with you. If she links you to tension, unpredictability, and insecurity, she may feel excitement in the short term. However, she won't crave your presence when she seeks stability. But if she begins to associate you with clarity, ease, and a sense of calm, she will find herself drawn to you in a way she may not fully understand. This is the difference between fleeting attraction and deep connection. The man who understands this concept doesn't just catch a woman's interest, he stays in her mind long after the moment has passed. Through embodying calmness and stability, much like the principles of Stoicism today, you create a lasting bond that is rooted in emotional peace and grounded connection. Stoicism teaches us to find peace within ourselves and in the relationships around us. When you say, "I feel calm when I'm with you," it's not just a compliment. It's a way to show deep appreciation for the positive influence another person has in your life. Number 3, you have a presence that changes the room. Some people possess an energy so distinct that the atmosphere shifts when they step into a room. It's not about beauty, intelligence, or charm in the conventional sense. It's something deeper, something intangible, a presence. This powerful aura is not often recognized or articulated, but its impact is unmistakable. It is as if the very energy of the room bends and adjusts to fit the energy of the person who has entered. When a woman carries this rare quality, she is used to being noticed, but few people ever articulate it in a way that truly captures its essence. That's where you have the opportunity to stand apart. It is said that what we do in life echoes in eternity, a quote from Gladiator, that serves as a reminder that even our subtle actions can leave a lasting impact. In the same way, a woman's presence, though intangible, reverberates throughout her environment, and its echo can linger far beyond the initial moment. Complimenting a woman on her presence is not about flattery. It's about showing that you see her in a way others do not. Most men focus on surface-level admiration. They tell her she's beautiful, intelligent, or interesting. While there's nothing wrong with these compliments, they don't make a lasting impression. They don't make her stop and think. To truly see someone is to understand the deeper energy they bring to every moment. And that recognition doesn't just celebrate the external, rather it honors the internal. This kind of awareness can only come from cultivating a stoic perspective on life, one that seeks to see things as they are, without embellishment or illusion. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you focus on the essence, the quality of your thoughts about her will reflect a depth that most people overlook. But when you tell a woman that her presence changes a room, that the energy shifts when she walks in, you are doing something entirely different. You acknowledge an aspect of her that she may not even fully recognize. It is in moments like these that her own sense of self is validated. The most important thing is not to live, but to live well. as Socrates said. Complimenting her presence is about recognizing that she lives in a way that transcends the superficial and touches something deeper, something that others may never fully grasp. What makes this compliment powerful is specificity. It's not enough to simply tell her she has a presence. You must articulate how she transforms the environment around her. Does she bring a sense of calm, making people feel at ease with nothing more than her quiet confidence? Does she radiate intensity, drawing attention without needing to say a word? Does she exude intrigue, making others naturally gravitate toward her? The Stoic sage Epictetus taught that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Similarly, a woman with a strong presence does not need to display anything grand to make an impact. Her essence, her inner quietude, strength, or intensity creates an immediate and lasting impression. The key is in the details. The more precisely you describe what makes her presence unique, the more deeply she will feel it. Women are used to men reacting to their looks, but not being appreciated for their essence. You don't have to articulate it in elaborate language. Sometimes a simple recognition that her presence is like a quiet storm or the calm after a tempest can be more powerful than anything else. You are recognizing her in a way that most people overlook, and in doing so, you are living by a principle that Marcus Aurelius once expressed: be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. This is not just about offering praise, but about offering a reflection of who she is, seen in a way that encourages both her and you to grow. When you tell a woman that her presence affects the space around her, you tap into something beyond the physical. It is the inner quality of her character, honed and matured through trials, life lessons, and resilience. It is not about the image she projects, but the spirit that she emanates. The true power of a presence lies in its authenticity, a Stoic principle deeply rooted in the idea of virtue over appearance. Women who cultivate this strength understand that presence is not something they perform, but something that simply is. And in doing so, you create a moment of connection that lingers long after the words are spoken. Like the wisdom of the Stoics, who believe that what happens in the mind and heart is far more significant than the superficial, you are touching something profoundly human, a recognition of her strength and energy. In this simple act, you acknowledge the quiet, the invisible, the often unspoken, and in turn, create a lasting impact on her that few ever will. Number 4, you make things more interesting just by being part of them. A well-placed compliment has the power to linger in a woman's mind long after it is spoken. While most men typically praise her beauty or intelligence, remarks she has likely heard countless times before, offering a compliment that highlights the impact of her presence is far more powerful. Telling a woman, "You make things more interesting just by being part of them," does more than flatter her. It makes her pause and reflect. It forces her to consider something she may never have thought about, that her mere presence can elevate and transform any experience. This kind of compliment engages her psychology in a way that goes beyond the surface level. Instead of the usual, "You are beautiful," or "You're so smart," you are saying something deeper. You change the energy of the room just by being here. This is not just passive admiration, it is an active recognition of her influence. Women naturally seek validation, but high-value men know how to offer appreciation in a way that makes her feel seen on a deeper level. This subtle approach boosts her self-perception in a way no typical compliment can. It's easy to offer superficial praise, but when a man recognizes how she impacts a situation, how she makes things more interesting simply by being part of them, it changes everything. It engages her mind, encouraging her to think, do I really make things more interesting? What is it about me that he sees that others don't? These questions spark reflection, and suddenly she finds herself thinking about the dynamic between you two. It's not just another compliment. It's a profound observation that makes her see herself in a new light. When you offer a compliment like this, you are no longer just admiring her beauty or intelligence. Instead, you are recognizing her presence, the intangible energy she brings to any situation. This subtle acknowledgement is what high-value men do. They make others feel special, not by showering them with empty flattery, but by making them feel different in their presence. This shift in how she perceives herself and in how she perceives you deepens the connection between you. You aren't merely complimenting her in a way that makes her feel like an object of admiration. You're highlighting how she influences the world around her. This is powerful because attraction is not merely about physical appearance. It's about how a person makes you feel. For a woman, hearing this kind of compliment is more than just flattering. It is affirming. It will stick with her long after the moment passes. She will recall it unexpectedly, perhaps while sitting alone in a cafe or during a quiet evening at home. She will remember how you looked at her when you said it, and how your words made her feel seen and understood. And when this happens, she will think of you, not because of a grand gesture or desperate attempt to win her over, but because you made her feel something new, something intriguing that she can't quite shake. This is the essence of leaving a lasting impression. High-value men understand that it's not about trying too hard or relying on obvious compliments. It's about making a woman feel something different that sticks with her long after you're gone. Once you've taken space in her mind, she starts associating you with a feeling that no one else has given her, and in that moment, you've already won half the battle. High-value men understand the art of making others feel valued and engaged on a deeper level, and this approach opens the door for genuine connection, trust, and Number 5. I respect the way you handle challenges. Attraction is not solely about physical desire. It runs deeper, rooted in admiration and respect. A woman may enjoy being pursued, but what truly captures her heart is the feeling of being understood and appreciated for who she truly is. So often people, especially women, feel that their struggles go unnoticed, their efforts overlooked. They are praised for their appearance, their charm, but the quieter, more powerful aspects of their character, their resilience, their ability to handle pressure, often go unrecognized. When a man sees beyond the surface and recognizes a woman's ability to face adversity with grace, it creates an emotional connection that stands out in ways superficial compliments never could. It's the rare recognition of her inner strength that makes her feel truly seen. When a man tells a woman, "I respect the way you handle challenges," it goes far beyond flattery. This statement resonates in a way that is both meaningful and impactful, showing her that she's not just admired for her appearance or charm, but for her emotional and mental strength as well. Unlike generic praise, which often feels shallow or routine, a compliment that acknowledges her ability to manage adversity shows a deeper understanding. It's not just about validating her, it's about recognizing the hard work, patience, and persistence she puts into everything she does. This makes her feel appreciated for what truly defines her, not just her looks. For instance, imagine this scenario. Lisa, a manager at a high-pressure job, has been juggling tight deadlines, team conflicts, and the stress of maintaining high performance. She feels exhausted, but pushes forward because that's what she does. While others may notice her achievements, no one truly acknowledges the mental and emotional effort that goes into them. Then one day, her colleague David tells her, "I see how you manage pressure at work. It's impressive. You always seem so composed, no matter the circumstances. I respect that." In that moment, Lisa's perspective shifts. She feels seen, not just as a colleague, but as a person who is handling things with incredible strength. That recognition transforms how she perceives David, and it deepens her respect for him. This kind of compliment is not just nice to hear, it speaks directly to her sense of self-worth. It tells her that her struggles are not unnoticed, and that the qualities she might have doubted, her strength, resilience, and grace under pressure, are exactly what make her admirable. And because it's rare, it carries weight. However, for this compliment to truly be effective, it must be specific and sincere. Women are highly attuned to insincerity. Empty words and hollow praise will never create a meaningful connection. If a man simply says something to impress her without genuine feeling, she will notice. But when it comes from a place of true appreciation, when it reflects his honest respect for her character, the compliment becomes a catalyst for emotional connection. In doing so, he becomes someone she not only desires but also respects. Respect and attraction are deeply intertwined. A woman may initially be drawn to a man for his confidence, humor, or charm, but what sustains her interest over time is how he makes her feel about herself. If she feels more seen, more valued, and more respected in his presence than with anyone else, his place in her mind and heart is secured. She will think of him not only when things are going well, but also in moments of solitude, when she's grappling with her own challenges. She will remember how he saw her strength, especially in moments when she might have doubted it herself. The words, "I respect the way you handle challenges," are a reminder that there is someone who truly sees her, not just as a beautiful or charming woman, but as someone with depth, strength, and resilience. Men who understand this dynamic shift the balance of attraction in their favor. Instead of relying on overused lines or superficial compliments, they focus on what truly matters, the depth of a woman's character. They take the time to observe, appreciate, and acknowledge her inner strength. In doing so, they show her that she's not just another face in the crowd, but someone who is truly valued for what makes her unique. In a world where many crave attention and recognition, the rarest and most powerful gift a man can give a woman is the feeling of truly being understood. It's the recognition of her emotional resilience, her capacity to handle life's challenges, and the admiration of her as a whole person, not just for her looks or charm, but for who she is in the world. When a woman feels respected and seen for her strength, she forms a connection that runs deeper than mere attraction. If you have ever faced a challenge and overcome it, share your strength by commenting, "I respect how I overcame the challenge," below. Number 6. You inspire me. Most compliments tell a woman who she is, but few tell her who she makes you want to become. When a man says, "You inspire me," he is not just acknowledging her qualities, he is revealing the powerful impact she has on him, and that, more than any surface-level flattery, creates an emotional connection that lingers long after the moment has passed. Women are used to being told they are beautiful, intelligent, or kind. These are affirmations of what already exists within her. While these compliments may make her feel appreciated, they do little to deepen the connection. But when a man expresses how a woman affects him, how she elevates him beyond who he was before, it transforms the dynamic. Suddenly she is not just desirable, she becomes meaningful. What makes the phrase "you inspire me" powerful is that it reaches beyond mere attraction. Attraction fades, but influence remains. When a woman hears that she inspires a man, it speaks to something far more profound than just validation. It makes her feel valuable in a way that is not dependent on her looks, charm, or external traits. She is not just someone to be admired. She shapes, challenges, and motivates. This shift from being an object of admiration to being a catalyst for change triggers a deep emotional response. A woman becomes emotionally invested in a man when she feels she has changed him in some way, not because she wants to mold him, but because knowing she has left a mark on him makes her presence in his life feel irreplaceable. This shift can often align with the principles of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches self-control and resilience in the face of challenges. In Stoic philosophy, a key tenet is that we cannot control what happens around us, but we can control our responses. The impact of someone who inspires us, whether it's their unwavering focus, emotional resilience, or their ability to motivate us to strive for better, is a real-world example of the Stoic idea of shaping one's life through action and perspective. When a man tells a woman that she inspires him, he is acknowledging that her strength, drive, or mindset has influenced his own way of thinking and acting, much like the Stoic emphasis on cultivating inner strength and virtue. However, the magic of this phrase lies in its authenticity. Saying, "You inspire me," without substance is meaningless. It must be tied to something real, something specific that she embodies. If she has a relentless drive and work ethic, say, "Your work ethic inspires me." If she pushes you to think outside of your usual framework, tell her, "You challenge me in ways no one else does." If she faces life fearlessly, let her know, "I admire how bold you are." This is not about empty words or flattery. It's about showing her the genuine effect she has on you. The more specific and authentic it is, the more it resonates. Women do not just want admiration, they want to matter. They want to feel like their presence in a man's life isn't just an addition, but a catalyst for something greater, something that shapes his journey in a positive way. High-value men understand this deeply. They recognize that attraction is not just about how a woman looks, but about the impact she has on their lives, the way she pushes them to grow, to be better, to evolve. High-value men don't just offer superficial compliments. They make a woman feel as though she is an integral part of their self-improvement and success. This creates a unique and lasting bond where both individuals feel elevated by the relationship. And when a man can make a woman think, when he can show her that she inspires him, he is no longer just another admirer. He becomes unforgettable. He becomes a man who truly sees her, not just for what she is, but for what she makes him become. And that is the kind of connection that lasts, one rooted in genuine admiration and deep emotional investment. Thanks for watching. Remember, attraction goes far beyond looks. It's about making someone feel truly seen and appreciated. When you master the art of meaningful compliments, you'll not only grab attention, but leave a lasting impression. This is the essence of the modern Stoic mindset: thoughtful communication, emotional intelligence, and authenticity. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Win Stoic. To turn on notifications so you never miss our next video. Stay sharp and keep evolving. See you soon.